how would you define success?
Well, good question. Wow, how would I define success?
So it's one many struggle to answer.
It's a very tough one.
And it's quite subjective too, of course.
Yeah. I would say, oh, I don't know, give me a second here. I would say success is freedom to do what you want, when you want, how you want. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is.
And for you, what is that? What is that moment where I know you're restless, and as am I, and as are a lot of people who are looking for more things in life. But do you think you'll ever have a bit where you look back and you think, I've succeeded?
I'm sure I will. You know.
What does that look like, do you think?
What does that look like? You know, I think, you know, in 10, 15 years or whatever it is, when you've got a family, you can easily take them or whatever you want, you know, like jets and all this kind of stuff, all this amazing stuff. And, you know, I can imagine like laying at a pool at a villa with like your family or even with like a girlfriend or something like that, right? And you're just there, you're very relaxed, business is going very well. And you're like, I've done it. And I can imagine like it's a very casual setting to be in, but also a very cool setting, you know, where you're doing something that you probably couldn't have done before and you're doing it in a very relaxed way. You know, i.e. like, again, going back to what I just said, you know, going to maybe like a stunning resort or villa or doing something crazy that most can't, and you're doing it as potentially the norm, and you're doing it maybe, could be with a loved one, could be with a future family, and you're able to do that, and then you can just sit there and think, okay, you know, something worked.
Do you think the emotion that comes with that when you realize you've succeeded is ecstaticness, excitement, or do you think it's more peace?
More peace.
There's a ancient Greek word, and it's still used today because we don't actually have a word that can match the meaning for it, which is eudaimonia. Are you familiar with this word?
No.
So eudaimonia is, in Greek philosophy, they use it to describe that moment of true happiness. Now, happiness today, the way we use the word happiness is almost hedonistic.
Yeah.
You know, it's about having pleasure and all of this, you know, especially in the Western world, all this materialistic stuff and that sort of thing. But that true state of where I think you have the truest moment of feeling successful is achieving that eudaimonia, where you look around you and you think, and I think it's also achieved when you have the right balance, yin and yang again, of chaos and order, where everything around you is an order, but you're also stepping into more chaos, more unknown. You're still growing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the yin and yang symbol is so important.